Hi guys, here's Paula, and in this video, as you can see, with a totally new look. So why I'm wearing this is another whole story. I actually tried to take it off just a minute ago, and I thought, for the duration of the video it should be okay, but I just made like one movement and it was not good, so I need to wear this. So anyway, but in this video I don't want to talk about my neck, but about something that keeps popping up over and over again, and that's the question about the combination of ozone therapy and vitamin C. So this seems to be like the eternal question of ozone therapy. Should you do vitamin C with ozone therapy or not? Will the two cancel each other out, or is it okay, or is it even preferred to combine those two? And so I will discuss this question in this video, and I will give my opinion on the subject matter. And if you watch until the end of the video, I will also come clean about one thing, so it will be like a world premiere. So let's start. Many people ask, is it okay to do vitamin C right after ozone therapy? Because vitamin C is an antioxidant, one of the most potent antioxidants that we know. And ozone therapy, of course, is an oxidative agent. So it would be logical to assume that the two cancel each other out. And yet there are many ozone therapists and many ozone experts who don't see a problem in combining those two, and what they actually do quite often is they administer ozone therapy to their patients and right away give them a vitamin C drip, a high dosage of vitamin C. Is it really so? Does it really make sense to combine those two modalities, or is it possible that they will cancel each other out? Now, my opinion is that yes, they will cancel each other out, or more, the vitamin C will cancel out some of the effect of the ozone therapy, or maybe all of the effect. This is not clear, but here are the two main reasons why I think that this is the case, and one bonus reason. So really a total of three reasons why I think that it is not a good idea to combine ozone therapy and vitamin C. So reason number one is my personal experience. So I've been doing ozone for now over 12 years, and in that time it happened a number of times to me that I accidentally breathed in large amounts of ozone. Now this was not intentioned, and as I said, it was accidental, and I do not recommend that anyone does it, because when you do, you will get to experience the power of ozone, but the destructive power of ozone. When you get a strong whiff of raw ozone, this can literally knock you off your socks. And for me, this was, a number of very, very uncomfortable experiences. I remember one such experience very distinctly. It was so bad that I actually had to, I felt like I couldn't stand on my feet. I had to like crouch down and like try to catch myself. I tried to, just get stable and like figure out, oh my God, what just happened? Will I be all right? And then I knew, of course, what to do, and that was to go and dissolve some vitamin C and drink it immediately. And that's what I did. And that stopped that ozone-induced reaction, essentially like that. For me, this is one of the strongest reasons, something that I have experienced on myself, that I know that vitamin C counteracts the effects of ozone. Then reason number two why I think that vitamin C will eliminate at least some of the effects of ozone is because I have heard similar reports from other people, especially from people who have received 10 pass. So the 10 pass method, as some of you may know, is a new ozone modality which entails really unprecedented amounts and concentrations of ozone which are delivered in a very short time. And so the reports that have been relayed to me over the past years were those where people were receiving the 10 pass and they felt like it was too much. They felt like they overdosed on ozone. The way they noticed this was because of this uncomfortable chest sensation. So this can happen with any type of intravenous ozone therapy, that one starts to feel like a heavy sensation in your lungs and becomes difficult to breathe, and your lungs feel really heavy and like you can't breathe properly, and there can be like pressure and even pain in your lungs. And this is often a sign that you have received too much ozone. And so what was done in those instances is, first of all, the 10 pass was aborted immediately, and the person was given high doses of vitamin C, either intravenously or orally. The minute the vitamin C was administered, this negative ozone-induced reaction was either greatly diminished or it stopped immediately. This is another reason for me to understand that yes, vitamin C is like the fastest and the direct antidote to an overdose of ozone, or to ozone just in general. And this is also reason number 3 why I believe that it is not a good idea to administer vitamin C right after ozone if you want to maximize the effect of both modalities. That reason is that it is recommended to ozone therapists to always keep vitamin C close by, that in case it turns out that the patient does not do well on ozone, or that the patient has received too much ozone or has some negative reaction to it, to immediately give vitamin C, and the vitamin C will stop the ozone reaction in its tracks. Some of you may now ask, okay, how is this possible then that so many ozone doctors apply vitamin C right after ozone therapy, and some even recommend to do vitamin C together with ozone therapy. And many of those ozone doctors report great effects and great results by combining those two therapies. Some of them even say that they work synergistically and they see, great successes with it. How is this possible? So the thing is that those two notions are not mutually exclusive. By that I mean that it can still be true that vitamin C will cancel out at least some of the effect of ozone therapy, and yet when you combine those two, you can still see great results when treating a wide variety of illnesses. And why is that? Because both therapies, ozone therapy and high-dose vitamin C, can be both very powerful treatments. So just by using vitamin C, you can really achieve astounding results. Also, it is unlikely that when you do combine those two, that the vitamin C will completely cancel out the effects of ozone therapy. What most likely happens that you will still get some of the effect of ozone therapy, but that some of it will be cancelled out by the vitamin C, so that not everything of the ozone benefit is lost. So this is one of the possible explanations why, when combining those two modalities, that ozone doctors still see great results. So now, summarized, I don't think when you do those two things together that something bad will happen. On the contrary, you may still get benefit, you may still get great benefit from both of them. But I don't think that when you combine those two that you use both of them to their maximum effect. In order to get the maximum from both of them, I think it makes more sense to do them on alternate days. And especially also what one should consider is the financial standpoint, because especially with things like, for example, the 10 pass, which can cost absolutely absurd amount of money, especially when you live in the US or in Canada, you really want to get the most effect for the money that you're paying. And so especially here, it makes sense to really just get the 10 pass on one day and the vitamin C then on the other day. Because if you're making such a huge investment into your health, you really want to get the most out of it. And if you receive a vitamin C IV, a high dose vitamin C IV right after your 10 pass, you will neutralize at least some of the effect of the ozone therapy. And now here are the great announcements, the great revelation. So, as you know, my name is spelled Paola. Now, and I've always said, call me Paula. And that's mainly because when I used to live in the States and people would read my name, they would never be able to read it correctly. And the correct pronunciation of my name is Paola. Okay? It's basically it's an Italian name, and so you pronounce it like the Italian name, like Paola. But people in the States, I found out I would hear stuff like payola or something strange, and I was like, okay, you know what? Okay, never mind, just say Paula. Paula is fine, just drop the A, just say Paula. But now, recently, I started watching Friends on Netflix, and there was a character in the first season. It was an Italian dude, and he had the male version of my name. His name was Paolo. And all of the main actors in that series were able to pronounce his name correctly. Okay? So now I'm coming clean and I'm saying my name is Paula. This is the correct pronunciation of my name. So if you want to earn like 1,000 brownie points with me, or more like 1,000 ribeye points because I'm a carnivore, I would love to hear the correct pronunciation of my name, which is Paola. So there you have it. So check out the description in the video. There may or may not be some useful information. Also feel free to join the group, the Ozone group on Facebook. There's always some interesting discussion going on. And like my page on Facebook, The Power of Ozone. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Crazy Ozone Lady and what she thinks about ozone therapy and vitamin C. And next episode, maybe without the neck brace, or maybe this will turn into a fashion trend, who knows?